curiosity has got the better of me, and I need to have a look inside of the horrible dead engine. I got a bore scope thing, a cheap one off
China, 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 China.
and it can't focus it really close in, but I can see that there's some scoring on the inside of the bore. Anyway, I thought, right, let's get the head off, get the barrel off, and just have a look inside of it. Well, I wouldn't say this is a masterclass in this stripping an engine, because I've not even looked at the manual, but taking the valve cover off, the cam chain tensioner, and the cam holder, cam cover bolts, not cam cover, cam holders, and I've turned it so it's off cam. You can see the cams actually, well, I'll start again when I take the cover off, but they actually look all right, and I'm thinking this engine's probably never had an oil change in its whole life, and that's why it's died. We're gonna have a see what's inside, but got the, there's the cam chains loose. I'm just gonna carry on. I want to get the barrel off, get the cylinder off, and have a look at the piston and stuff, and see if it feels like the bottom end bearings are gone as well. So there's the cam cover off. The cams actually look fine, no scoring or anything on the low surfaces. Just noting the position of the locating dowels. We've got one there and one there, and none of them have gone into the cap. So I can, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this engine when it's got the spares and repairs, but the cams are definitely usable. So there's the cams, inlet, exhaust, left to right as we see them. They look absolutely fine. So the problem's going to be somewhere else. So I've got the 4 engine bolts out, well, 4 engine bolts loose. They were quite tight to get out. I had to use a longer ratchet on it. These 2 are recessed a bit. They're loose, so I'm just going to get them out with a magnet. And just to note that we've got these 10mm bolts, one holding the cylinder head to the barrel, and then another 2 holding the barrel down to there, and I'll have to remember to take those out. So I'm just going to give it a tap now and see if I can get the head off. I've tapped around with a mallet, and I can feel that the head's now free from the cylinder, but one thing I've noticed is another bolt here that goes through the cam chain, and the head's not going to come off with that there, obviously, so I'm just going to take that out. Well, there's the cylinder head off. The gasket surface looks okay. There's a lot of paint come off the gasket, but there doesn't look like there's any evidence of any leakage, blowing past where it seals all the way around. When I believe that the thread had gone, I couldn't get the thread to tighten up on the spark plug. Looking at the thread, it doesn't look to be damaged, but if I'm going to reuse this, that definitely needs some thread repair, because I couldn't get the spark plug to seat. And then in the bore, so obviously you can see the state of the gasket there. I'll just take that off, I think. So inside, pretty dirty, and rust and stuff might have come down from when I was putting oil down the bore to try and test it, but no sort of major scoring, apart from I can see one bit there. I'll zoom in, where it looks to have just a bit of plating come off there. But I'll strip it down, clean it out, and have a bit of a better inspect. Now here we are. Now I've got the barrel off. You can see massive bit of gouging, scraping from the piston on. That's the front side of the bore, and then I didn't see that when it was in the engine, and then that's what I just saw previously. That little bit, but it's all over there. If you look at the piston, all scraped on the side of the piston, that's at the back edge, and scoring at the front. No play in the piston, but this is the big thing. This is what I thought it was. Hold on. This is the play in the big end. That is absolutely knackered. That's toast. So I've just loosely put this engine back together again, just so I don't lose any bits. I didn't trust myself not to do the timing on the cams and everything, so I checked that so that it's as it was. But I'm not going to run the engine. It needs stripping completely, and I don't know. I'll see if I can manage to get another crank cheaply, or just sell it as a parts engine. But it would be useful to have a spare engine, because they're about 400 or 500 quid for a decent used engine. I was very lucky to have got one for 200. But just before I leave it for now and get back on with the bike, I'm gonna just have a look at the oil filter, because this engine essentially has died due to lack of maintenance. As just oil changes, really. For the sake of what, half an hour's work and 20 quid's worth of oil, this engine could have been saved. It's only done like 19,000, but I expect some delinquent 17-year-old has just neglected it. I'll have a look at the filter now. And just to add, if in case anyone comments, I am stripping this down on a filthy floor that's covered in swarf, and that's not the best conditions to be stripping an engine in. But considering I knew this engine was completely dead, I'm not going to use it. I wasn't too worried. If it was one I was using, I'd have had a good tidy up and probably done it on a bench. Here it is. There's the oil filter, and it's full of glitter, which is very festive, but not really what you want in your oil filter. I guess that is what's left of the bearings, bottom end bearings. I didn't really notice anything in the oil as I drained it, but it's definitely caught a load of metal in there. Mega shed out.